So the Cincinnati Bengals have a new defensive coordinator? Well, maybe not. There's a lot of reports coming out today circling around the idea of Cincinnati finally hiring a new defensive coordinator, but without telling anybody. But now it's coming out that maybe might not be true. Earlier this week, the Bengals fired defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo, who's been there since Zach Taylor's been there. Zach Taylor's 6-year tenure. Lou has been there the whole time, and the Bengals have felt that the defensive draft capital that they've been spending on the defensive side hasn't panned out in what they expected it to. And obviously there was someone was going to have to be fired after this season, how the season ended up going. And with the defense being back-to-back seasons in the bottom third of the league, Lou was unfortunately the guy that was let go. And good for him. He is now interviewing for different defense corner jobs, and I hope that he finds the right one and he succeeds, because he's been an amazing coach for the defense. The whole time he's been here, it just hasn't worked out to what we thought it was going to. But the bigger question, obviously, is now, who is the defensive coordinator going forward for the Cincinnati Bengals? And coming out today, it all circles around a rookie. That rookie is Dajan Anthony. He's a safety. He's been there for one season. This was his rookie season, and because of this player, there's been insane amount of theories, rumors, everything going on with the Bengals. Strictly today, it's been, we have a new defensive coordinator. Now we don't, and no one knows what to think. All stemming from Dajan Anthony. It's a little bit interesting, but it's quite funny, and I don't know personally what to believe, but I'm just going to jump in explaining what is going on with this rookie. So, this is the first thing that came out. Dajan Anthony says Bengals have made decision at defensive coordinator hire will shock a lot of y'all. So, first, let me explain what happened. So, I don't think this was today. It might have been earlier today. But Dajan Anthony was on a TikTok live, right? Live on TikTok, just streaming, doing whatever, hanging out. The commenters were asking him about the defensive coordinator position. One of the questions was, and I'll pull up those questions later, talk about them, was basically asking him about the defensive coordinator choice. Who was it going to be? And he said basically along the lines that Cincinnati made a decision and hired somebody today. And he said, yeah, earlier today. Then another commenter asked, how do you think us fans will react? And then he went on and said, I think it's going to shock a lot of y'all. That's literally word for word what he said. And then as soon as he said that and that got out, Twitter world went insane, saying defensive coordinator for the Cincinnati Bengals has been chosen. And why this was such a big deal was, so for the NFL, if you don't understand, the NFL, if you hire or want to interview somebody who is already under contract for a different team, like we have done already, we've interviewed two guys already, defensive coordinator for the Patriots and defensive coordinator for the Raiders. We've interviewed both of those guys. The Cincinnati Bengals have to make that public. They have to request an interview for those guys, and then those guys have to accept and then come interview. But if Cincinnati was making a hire that they didn't make publicly, that means whoever they hired or supposedly hired was not under contract from any team. And two of the biggest names that have been circling around Twitter world or X world since Lou has been fired, neither of them are under contract currently from an NFL team. That's why it was such big news at the time earlier today that Cincinnati supposedly made a hire without saying anything, meaning this person had to be not under contract of an NFL team. Then this came out. Bengals have yet to hire new defensive coordinator hire despite rumors. So this is right after Dajan Anthony went on the thing saying, yeah, it's going to shock a lot of people. We made a hire earlier today. This is coming from the Cincinnati Enquirer, and this is the conversation they had. It said, rumors of a new hire stem from current Bengals safety Dajan Anthony going on TikTok Live and saying his team hired a new defense coordinator on Thursday. So this happened yesterday. Sorry. Here was the full Q&A. Like I said, are you happy with the DC choice? Was the question asked of him. Dajan Anthony said, I'm excited, man. New journey. Another question. Is the new DC defensive coordinator choice going to be a shocker to us fans? Yes, bro, it's going to shock a lot of y'all, bro. Literally word for word, verbatim, what he said. And why this report came out saying that it is confirmed not true is Dejan Anthony later went on to X and posted this. Y'all didn't hear the part when I said I was trolling. This is coming straight from his X account, saying that y'all didn't hear the part where I was trolling. For me, that's a weird thing to troll about. Not saying it's like he's going to get released from it, but that's just a little bit of an awkward thing to be like joking about with your fans that we hired a defensive coordinator, but we actually didn't hire a defensive coordinator, which I think is a little bit weird. A lot of people have been saying maybe it's damage control, like Cincinnati wants to make a formal announcement of who the DC is, and they don't want it to be ruined by like rumors that they already hired somebody. So there's a lot of things going on. I could see both ways where Cincinnati Bengals told him to release that statement in a manner that makes it seem like it's true. But then also, why would you say that stuff to begin with if it wasn't true? Like, if I was a player, I wouldn't just randomly be, oh, yeah, we hired a defensive coordinator. Oh, yeah, it's going to shock a lot of you guys. But then go and X and be like, actually, we didn't. I was trolling. Like, to me, that's a little bit weird. Do I think we hired somebody? I don't know. Do I think we didn't hire somebody? I don't know. I'm just letting you guys know the reports that are coming out strictly from today, which has been going back and forth a long time. A lot of people have said it's damage control. A lot of people are saying, yeah, I could see you were trolling from the beginning. But once again, according to me, that's a little bit of a weird thing to troll about. But the main names that were circled after he went on TikTok Live saying it's going to shock a lot of us, and that the fact it wasn't even announced, there's 3 names that those people on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, were saying. So I want to talk about those 3 right now, and I don't know why I did that. But these were the 3 names that were circled on the X universe. First, Robert Saleh, former head coach of the Jets. Rex Ryan, who is currently a TV analyst, but also former head coach of the Buffalo Bills and Jets in a long time before that. And then Dennis Allen, former Saints head coach. Why all 3 of these names were circled was the fact that none of them are under contract in the NFL currently. Robert and Dennis were both fired recently. Rex Ryan hasn't been in the league since 2016. So any of these 3 are under any form of contract. Robert Saleh and Dennis Allen were the 2 biggest names that Cincinnati fans wanted Cincinnati to go after as soon as Lou was fired. These were the 2 biggest names, and Rex Ryan was thrown in there a few times, but the 2 biggest names were go after Robert Saleh and then go after Dennis Allen because they are proven great defensive minds and great defensive coordinators. And like Rex Ryan said, why a lot of people are saying Rex Ryan is as soon as the announcement of Lou being fired, Rex Ryan said, if I was a coach, I would be hopping at this opportunity. He went on to say that basically with this opportunity, why if I was a defensive coordinator, I would go after it, is because if you can just make the Cincinnati Bengals defense mid with Joe Burrow and that offense on the other side, if you just make that defense mid, go win a Super Bowl or go win a playoff game, you're likely getting interviewed as a head coach the next season. So those have always been the 3 biggest names I've seen. Cincinnati Bengals fans wanting, obviously, from what reports have come out from Cincinnati, the Bengals themselves, it's looking like they're not wanting to go that way. I've heard that they're looking to go more of a younger guy, a young, hungry guy who's wanting to make a name for himself kind of vibe. But with today alone, with Dejan going live saying, yeah, we hired someone earlier today, it's going to shock a lot of you guys. That makes it a little bit weird. And then the fact he went back and said, no, I was trolling, that just makes it a little bit weird. I don't know. I think Cincinnati should at least try to contact these guys. Robert is getting head coaching interviews right now from the Jags and from the Raiders. It's sounding like pretty sure that the 49ers are going to offer him the DC job back. He was a defensive coordinator before. He was the defensive coordinator for the 49ers before becoming the head coach of the Jets. So it sounded like he's got a lot of interviews going on. But at least I would do, if I was Cincinnati, I'm at least contacting them. I'm calling Robert Saleh, being like, hey, this defensive coordinator job is open. If you want it, you can have it. Dennis Allen, hey, this defensive coordinator job for Cincinnati is open. If you want it, you can have it. Rex Ryan, hey, I know you haven't been in the league in a while, but this Cincinnati defensive coordinator job is open. And if you want it, you can have it. That's what I would do. I would contact all 3, at least see if they have interest in it. If I was a coordinator who just got fired, or a head coach who just got fired, who's a defensive-minded coach, looking at all the defensive players that are on the Bengals, young talent, if I can develop these young talents, turn the Bengals defense not into a top 10 defense, but to strictly just a mid defense, allow the defense to make stops, to allow the offense with Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins, and Chase Brown, and Mike Gesicki, allow them to do what they have to do to go win us the games and even win a playoff game. Most likely after one season, I'm getting head coach jobs interviews immediately. Obviously with Robert, he's already getting the head coaching jobs, but Dennis Allen hasn't yet. If I'm Dennis Allen, Cincinnati's looking like the best place that I should go to. Rex Ryan, now it's been made official that he has actually interviewed for the Jets head coaching job, so he might not be interested in it, but if they don't offer him that job, why not come to Cincinnati? Prove that you can still be a coach. Prove that you can be a defensive coordinator first, and then go back and make another run for a head coach. But all this is just coming from today. Cincinnati is still, according to reports, Cincinnati is still looking for a defensive coordinator, even though the players themselves saying that there has been made a defensive coordinator job already. Once that is made official, it will be here on the Bengals Digest channels. But thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe for all your Bengals updates, trades, rumors, everything going on Cincinnati we'll be talking about right here. Like this video, comment on how you felt about this. What were your reaction when you saw Jason Anthony say that there was a hire, who you immediately thought it was going to be. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'm Carson Lokey. See you next time on Bengals Digest. Good night and God bless.